All right, let's talk to our next guest about this. He's been in these locker rooms before, and he's probably seen something like this before, especially being here in Philadelphia. Kyle, we got Seth Joyner coming up.
Yes, we do, and sponsored by Bet Parks. Every weekend, the double the spread boost for all users on one pro football game. Check the Bet Parks app. Friday must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Michigan. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Seth, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. What's happening, fellas?
What's going on, Seth?
Well, you know a lot, as usual with the Philadelphia Eagles. Seth, let's unpack this from the start, and then we'll kind of work our way to now. Seth, what did you make of what A.J. said on Sunday after the game, and do you think it was the right thing for him to express that the way he did?
No. I thought, as one of the leaders on the team, is he a captain?
He has been. I think he is. I'm trying to picture his jersey, and if he has the C on. Seth, I think he is.
Yeah. As a leader on the team, you can't pout and act like, you just won a damn football game, man. Stop it. You can address that with Jalen. You can address that with Nick at a different time. Or you can just say, hey, I'm not talking today. Something. But you can't act that way after a win. You can't act that way at all as a leader on that football team if you got that C on your chest. You just can't do that.
And he did it, and now this is kind of open up the can of worms here, Seth, throughout the season. All right, let's fast forward a day later. Brandon Graham on his show on WIP Monday night, very emotional about it. And I almost felt like I was listening to him talk to the two of them, but he did it obviously on the radio station and kind of gave his feelings that he's walked some of that back. But Seth, if you had a guess, why do you think BG did what he did? I mean, because that felt like it added a different element to this. I think maybe it will help things because they can't avoid talking about it. Now, what did you make of BG?
Well, listen, nobody expected for that leader to do what he did. But in some ways, and I'm not giving him a pass either, but in some ways I think it was strategic because, I heard your last caller say that it's not Nick Sirianni's responsibility to fix this, that the two guys need to fix it. Well, obviously, for BG to go public with this and say what he said, this has been going on for a while. This little riff has been going on for a while, and it's pretty evident to him that it wasn't going to fix itself. So he just threw it out there, threw a little kerosene on the already blazing fire, and figured, hey, well, now they got to fix it. Now, somebody got to sit the two of them down and have that conversation. Right, wrong, or indifferent, BG said, hey, man, all I want to do is win. And we need both of these guys to get that done. And we have an opportunity to do something special, and, we've seen this picture before. I've seen it myself. I've seen Randall look at Mike Quick running down the field and throw the check down. Now, I'm not saying that Jalen's doing that, but, sometimes Randall could be petty that way when he was at odds with Mike. It's been well documented, the nonsense between T.O. and Donovan and what it cost a team that probably could have won a Super Bowl, okay? And BG, understanding that and knowing some of that history, in my opinion, just refused to let that happen, and just threw it out there. Now, he walked it back. I'm pretty sure, there was some intent there, and he realized after the fact what that caused. But what that should have did is that, you got a CEO head coach. And I heard that guy say that those guys need to work it out. Nick Sirianni, you're the leader of this football team, okay? You're the leader of this football team. It's time for you to get these guys in a room, sit them down, figure this out, work it out. They ain't got to love each other. They ain't got to like each other. But they got to understand that in order for them to win a Super Bowl, they're going to need each other. This team is going to need both of them captains with that C on their chest to step up and be the example. They're going to need that, And I think that it's Nick Sirianni's responsibility to make sure as the leader of this football team that he nipped this in the bud right now.
Seth, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's what he does here. He's the culture setter, and this culture is obviously a little shaky right now as we head towards the most important stretch of the season. Seth, when you watch the game Sunday, and you could go back the last few weeks if you want to, what do you think's happening with the passing game? Is it as simple as Jalen is seeing it and not pulling the trigger for whatever reason, or do you think he is not seeing things as clearly as maybe he should, so maybe we see it, but he's not really seeing it the same way? Why do you think it's been such a struggle in the pass game for him?
I think there's a little bit of trauma, a little bit of PTSD that's going on with Jalen when it comes to the turnovers. Because, listen, I'm not saying that this is how he needs to do it, but what I'm saying is, when you look at Jameis Winston, Jameis just lets it rip. Jameis don't give a damn. He gonna throw 3 touchdowns and he gonna throw 3 interceptions. But guess what? He gonna take his shots. He gonna let it rip. Okay. Now I'm not saying that that's what Jalen needs to do, but he threw a ball in that game on 3rd and 13. He hit AJ on a stop route at 14, and I looked at that. I was like, wow, that was special. Because before AJ's head could turn around, that ball was in the air. When AJ turned around, that ball was right between the 1 and the 1. Now, I'm like, if he can do that on that occasion, that tells me that he can do that any damn time he wants to, okay? So he's got to figure out, how to just let it go, let it rip. And maybe he needs to have that conversation. Nick needs to have that conversation. Kellen needs to have that conversation with him and just say, hey, every once in a while a turnover is going to happen, okay? And media and fans in the city be damned. But the only way that they're going to fix that is there are timing routes that he's going to have to let that ball go and trust his wide receivers to either make the catch or knock it down and realize that every once in a while the other team going to win, and you got to rely on your defense to do what they do, and they do a pretty damn good job of it. They're, I think, 4th in red zone. They're phenomenal at making stops after his mistakes, okay? So he's going to have to learn how to just let it rip and let it go. I'm not saying just throw caution to the wind, but smartly do it in order to get this fixed. And with the running game that they have, there's no reason in the world why they shouldn't be lining him up under center and running play-action pass at least 10 to 15 times a game. Because I know for a fact, because I've been in that situation before, when the team is running the ball down your throat, the way that they have the potential to do it, it is so hard as a linebacker and as a safety not to step up first and ensure that they're not running the ball down your throat. That's what killed us defensively the other day. They were ripping off runs of 4, 5, 6, 7 yards. When they went play action pass, in zone we couldn't get enough depth, so they're killing us across the middle of the field. So if everybody else can do that and everybody else can see that, you tell me why it is that, we can't remedy this problem. That we've got too much talent not to be throwing for at least 275 yards a game. I'm gonna put some of it on Jalen because I think he's got a little trauma going on and he got to let that go. But I'm also gonna put it on the coaches because I'm wondering what the hell are you running in practice every single week that you come out and your quarterback is throwing for 100 damn yards a game. That makes no sense.
It doesn't, and it's caused all this sorts of frustration and worry this week, but a team that's won 9 in a row, it is pretty wild. Seth, we appreciate it as always. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch up next week after a big one against the Steelers. Thank you, Seth.
Appreciate you.
Have a good day, Jude.
There we go. Seth Joyner there. Coming up on the other side, Shio Kapadia on what he sees on the tape from Jalen Hurts. You're going to want to hear this. 215-592-9494, and your phone calls coming up on the other side.
It's Hugh's Holiday Stocking!
First of all, you look like a big old candy cane.
Yes, it is that time of the day. It's time to find out what's in Hugh's Holiday Stocking.
Hey.
All right, 215-592-9494. Hop in now. Your chance to win an incredible prize today and the grand prize, of course, from Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey and Gerhard's Appliances. All right, today, Hugh, holiday tradition. That is what's in Hugh's holiday stocking. That is our theme. You call in, ask us one yes or no question. We will answer it to the best of our ability, and then you get a guess. You get it right, you win today's qualifying prize, and you're entered for the grand prize. 215-592-9494. Hugh's holiday stocking next. Nick Sirianni in the 12 o'clock hour, and all your calls on who's got to fix this in Philadelphia. Is it Nick Sirianni or the players? We'll talk about it on the Midday Show. Sports Radio 94 WIP.